All righty, everybody. Take a deep breath. Pour that drink or whatever you need. It is Friday night. We made it in yet another crazy week of 2020. Oh, wait, it's 2021, but it might as well be the same because it's just continued. And this is Felicia. Nope, this is Felicia. This is Amy. I think 6 months in, I'd get this by now. I haven't. And Amy, I know we're starting with some crazy news.
Yeah, some breaking news within the last hour. President Trump has been permanently suspended from Twitter. The company says it did it due to the risk of further incitement of violence. Twitter specifically pointed out tweets Trump made today, one calling his supporters, quote, American patriots, saying, quote, they will not be disrespected or treated unfairly. He's also been indefinitely suspended from pretty much every social media account out there, Snapchat, FaceTime, Facebook, YouTube, all of them are saying
maybe FaceTime. We don't know. He might be trying to FaceTime us. We don't know.
Facebook, FaceTime, yes.
Instagram, Facebook, and Instagram. You're trying to say.
Yeah.
So this is somewhat of a feeling better late than never. However, it kind of also depends on what's going to happen with Donald Trump after this presidency. Is he going to just go out of the public eye and live the rest of his life? Probably not, because he loves the public and he loves people that love him. So maybe this could help tone down some of the rhetoric in our country, which is really important. And, you know, they were talking about whether or not he would run again as president. So maybe this is actually a good thing. There isn't a such thing as better late than never. I'm glad it's happening.
In the words of former White Sox announcer Hawk Harrelson, he gone! And I just kind of breathed this like sigh of relief that I hadn't expected, just like, because we're always on pins and needles, wondering what's going to happen next. For a while, it was like, oh, what racist dog whistle is he going to come up with this time around, which is bad enough. The last couple of days has been like, oh, what violent insurrection is he going to promote?
Yes.
And that's scary enough. Although I will say one thing. Are you secretly a little sad that we're going to miss the crazy ones? Like not the mean ones, but like the wacky ones a little bit? Covfefe, hamburgers. No, you're not going to miss those?
No. Do you know what? It used to stress me out because I would know I would have to look every day to see what he said. And I was like, oh, God, all it's going to do is make me mad. And I'm going to start an argument or get into some like verbal altercation with a friend or family member or just get all riled up and it would piss me off.
I don't know, but it is good. It actually is good that it was out there for so long, especially during the duration of this presidency, because people do need to hear the words of our president, what's being said, what's being done, even if they are wrong or dangerous. Yeah. I think it is a sense of it being empowered with knowledge and information so we know how to adjust ourselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah. He still has the POTUS account, the official White House account. He can use that one if he wants to use that one for that.
He can get a burner.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, his second to last tweet was that he wasn't going to be attending the inauguration. Well, they asked Joe Biden, President-elect Biden, what he thought about it. He doesn't seem to be too fazed.
One of the few things he and I have ever agreed on. It's a good thing I'm not showing up.
Yeah, the vice president, Mike Pence, says he will go to the inauguration if he's invited. President Trump still, of course, facing pressure to resign. But if now House Democrats have drawn up impeachment documents, Nancy Pelosi says they could bring it to the floor as early as next week. So, should President Trump be at the inauguration? Amy, what do you think?
Nope, not in a million years. I remember when President Trump's inauguration happened, and you watched the Obamas that was there, and it was the spotlight was on the Obamas and Michelle Obama's face in particular. When there's a couple pictures out there, and she was seemingly giving him side eye. I think it completely takes away from the situation at hand. His presidency enough has been tumultuous. Let's let it go. Let's move on to President-elect Joe Biden and let the ceremony be nice and just moving forward. Pence should definitely be there. I think he should absolutely be there.
I agree with you, but I will say it is disappointing that this tradition of the former president and people who have been in office in past showing up at the inauguration and representing the country, showing unity, showing that we are all united as one. And this has been a tradition since the 1800s and probably longer than that as well. And so, I mean, it's disappointing that it's not going to happen this time, but also the last 4 years have been disappointing too. So there's that.
Yeah, I wish he would have been there before what happened this week, to be honest. I would have liked to see him there. I think it sends a nod to his supporters about what is happening and what's important. But after this week, nope, couldn't care less. Neither could Joe Biden, and I'm glad Pence will be there. I hope he will be. I assume
Okay,
so, 'cause
bye.
I think
You know
that
what?
is important.
Okay, bye.
It shows kids how to, you
Okay.
lose an argument, you lose it with grace. President Trump does not know how to
Mhm.
lose with grace. So,
Yeah,
So
still haven't
stay
learned
at
that one
home.
yet. Mhm.
mhm.
Stay at home. Okay, bye. All right, moving on. The U.S. Attorney's Office plans to open a federal murder investigation into the death of Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick. The 42-year-old Army veteran died from injuries suffered during Wednesday's Capitol riots. So far, more than 30 people have been arrested, more than a dozen already charged, including 2 Chicago residents. One of those residents is Brad Ruckstales. He's CEO of Schaumburg-based Cogencia, which is a technology company, and he's been charged with unlawfully entering the Capitol. And late this afternoon, we found out he was fired. Not the only local person feeling the heat after attending the riot. We've seen a few other posts just around social media, people who are getting put on blast basically for being there. And so we had this conversation amongst ourselves this afternoon, whether or not you should be affected in your business or your job should be affected because you attended these riots. And I have to say, yes. Yes, absolutely, it should. No one can condone violence. No one condones violence on any side, either side, wherever you're at. That's always wrong. However, when you look at Black Lives Matter and you look at the intentions behind a lot of these minority groups that gather, they're asking for equality. They're asking for respect. They're asking to be treated like every other American out there. When you look at the intention behind what just happened earlier this week, that's not the same. They're asking for the opposite. And they were there for death and destruction. They had Nazi symbols. They had hanging nooses. It was not okay. That matters, and you should be impacted.
Yeah, and if they just showed up for the protest and were there on the Capitol grounds, I probably would have less of a problem. But if you entered the Capitol unlawfully, that is breaking and entering. That is a federal crime. You've been charged with a federal crime. And if you get fired from your job for it, so be it. You broke the law. And I don't think that is something that's in dispute because this person is not disputing that he did that. So it's unfortunate, yes. Unfortunate choices, yes. But your choices have actions. And this is what our children need to learn. If you're going to do some of this stuff, you're also going to pay the price for it.
I don't like mob mentalities in any sense, especially what we saw on Wednesday. But then also when internet people all get together, start doxing, start cheering about people losing their situation, and I start agreeing with it, and I'm liking every tweet where I see like that, I do sometimes take a moment's pause and wonder if we are also an internet mob mentality in a way, and at least say, look, there are definitely levels to what people did on Wednesday, right? Like there's people that went into the Capitol, like you mentioned, Amy. There's people that were just there. And a lot of people have been doxxed in the past and now. I've seen some incorrect doxing where they label someone as someone that was there and they weren't. So that's my only hesitation, is that we rush to it. Like you mentioned, this guy said he was there. He admitted to it, said he was wrong. I just worry sometimes when we do get in this mob internet mentality that are we any better than the folks that did what happened then? I guess I'm just trying to see the other side and say everyone should just cool down a little bit and send it to the professionals to investigate and let them handle it from there.
Yeah, I don't like the other side.
But we do have the right. We have the right to demonstrate, and if someone's going to demonstrate, whether or not you agree with them, they have that right. Now, if you're going to break the law, then you're going to have to face the consequences, and that's where the line, I think, in this area certainly should be. Okay, moving on. Another hot topic tonight. The list of those up next for a COVID vaccine in Illinois is growing. Phase 1B, as it is known, will include people 65 and older, the homeless, certain essential workers, and anyone incarcerated in jails and prisons. So it's going to be several weeks, even possibly months, till we get to 1B. A lot of people are questioning whether or not those who are incarcerated should be the next ones to get the vaccine, but more than 60 community groups pushed for their prioritization because they are essentially trapped, as many people say. So I want to know how you guys feel. I am among the mindset where I think, like, if you're at the Cook County Jail and you're awaiting trial on charges that you face, then I feel like the vaccine should be made available to you because you're in these close-knit organizations. Now, if you have been convicted of a crime or spending a long time in jail, and you're going to get it before my older brother who might have, some issues that are keeping him home, Like, that bothers me.
I can see you saying that. I don't know. I have an issue with, I don't think just because they're in jail, they're in prison, their life isn't less than anyone else's, and they still have a right to not only live but to have proper health care, even though they may have made some poor decisions or broken the law or whatever. And so I also feel like maybe they're in this 1B category too, because they might be an easier population to vaccinate, as compared to some other populations. So maybe that's another reason. But COVID has been running rampant through the jails throughout our country, and it's something that needs to be addressed and should be a priority as well.
Yeah, I'm really torn on this one. I had to do some soul searching because originally I thought, well, why would someone in prison convicted of a crime get it before me? And then I realized that I have the privilege to be able to work from home and to isolate, and these folks don't. And they're human beings still, no matter what they did. And so then I'm kind of in the middle because as I look at what phase 2 is, meaning after phase 1C, after what these people are, personnel and dentist's office, medical and diagnostic labs, food, beverage, manufacturing facilities. A lot of those people are minimum wage workers that make our country go,
Right.
and they have to be at work to do that. Other health and personal care stores, stuff like that. So I feel like it's like a mix. I feel like we should get the people that are free in food distribution centers who have to go to work, the other things I listed, but maybe prisoners can get it before me, someone in their 30s who can work from
Right.
home. So I don't mind them being bumped up, but I think they've been bumped up too high, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you think about all the people. Okay, think about somebody who's in their upper 30s, 40s, right? And they work in a restaurant and their career is in the restaurant industry or in the entertainment industry, and these things are dying, right? And they need the vaccine to be able to get these businesses back open. Yet they're going to get it after someone who was convicted of a crime? I don't understand that. That kills our own economy.
Clearly, no, very difficult decisions have to be made right now. We are hoping our leaders make the best decisions. Stick around.
We're getting wrapped like the Oscars. Yeah,
apparently, it's like a Grammy speech up here. All right, some news you need to know to end your week. Baseball legend Tommy Lasorda has died. The Hall of Fame manager spent 71 years with the Los Angeles Dodgers, leading the team to 2 World Series titles. He was 93 years old. In an attempt to speed up vaccine distribution, President-elect Joe Biden plans to release nearly all available COVID vaccines when he takes office. The move is a complete 180 from President Trump's plan of holding back some of the vaccine for second doses. And any CPS teacher missing from the classroom when kids return on Monday will be considered AWOL and ineligible for pay going forward. That is the word from both Mayor Lori Lightfoot and CPS CEO Janice Jackson. A large chunk of CPS teachers have fought against returning to in-person learning with concerns over the district's ability to mitigate the risk of COVID exposure. Felicia.
Thanks. Well, parents are facing extreme difficulties when it comes to e-learning with their children. The pressure's mounted when students with unique learning challenges need extra help. One mom is sharing her story and helping others.
Diverse learners are students that have IEPs. That can range from students that have, and basically it can be a physical to a learning disability, and they need that extra support in school. And the IEP is an individual education plan.
Okay. And so you have a son, 8 years old, and he's actually deaf. What has this experience been like for you as a parent during the pandemic?
At the beginning, when we first went remote, it was difficult. I felt as if I was failing him. I felt that I wasn't able to support him because I'm not a special education teacher. I'm not an occupational therapist. These are all things that he receives when he's in school, and he wasn't receiving this support. So it's been very difficult.
And so you went to the school to ask for support or what a plan would be for students who need to be taught at home that are classified as diverse students. And what did the school tell you?
Yes. So when before the school year started back up, I contacted this district and I asked, what is the specific plan for diverse learners and kids with IEPs? And I was told that there was no specific plan. It was basically they were getting the same education everyone else was getting.
You actually decided to create your own diverse learning pod. Tell me about
Correct. So I created a pod with another teacher, and we decided to help the students in Zion's classroom. And I reached out to the parents in Zion's classroom, and we decided to start a pandemic pod for his class.
And how do the pods actually work?
So we do follow the same CPS remote learning guidelines. We're still online, but we do have 2 teachers in the classroom to help during the process.
And you told me that you also got some help from Chance the Rapper social works organization. How did they come into play to help bring this idea and forge the path forward?
So my little brother works for Chance. So I told my little brother about the idea, and he ran it by Chance. And then maybe a week or so later, Chance contacted me and said, I have a spot for you. He had a location for me to actually have the pod. And from there, they have social works has helped the whole way through.
Imagine there's some other parents out there who are looking for support. They're looking for their community to help support them. What would you want to say to them? And are they able to join these pods?
Yes, so since we teamed up with Social Works and we have an amazing space at Altitude Chicago, we were able to actually have room to create more pods.
My hat's off to you for sure. A lot of moms out there are doing a very difficult job, and you took the reins and decided to create something for the community. Certainly that is very respectable and should be commended. So thanks a lot for sharing.
Thank you.
For more info, to sign up or get more info, log on to socialworkshy.org.
Hey, the new year is a perfect time to find some cool new shows to binge, and we got the perfect guest for that as Brad William Henke has been in a few notable popular streaming shows over time, and he's got some debuting as well. How's it going, bro?
Going really good. How are you this year?
Hey, doing great. And man, you got a really interesting story. Played in Super Bowl 24. They got a pretty active career in acting starting in the 90s. So how did you make that transition from, athletics to acting?
I played in the Super Bowl my rookie year, and then I got cut the next year, and then I had a bunch of surgeries and kept trying. So really that was the only year I played. And then I find myself 2 or 3 years later not knowing what to do with the rest of my life. So I was kind of lost for a little while, to be honest with you. Wow. And then I happened to just do they said, hey, they need extra football players to be in a background for a commercial. Like if you see a Peyton Manning commercial and there's football players in the background. So I did that, and I met some guy who invited me to an acting class. I was like, all right. So I went to this acting class, and I see this dude up there on the stage crying in this scene. And I'm like, then they're talking about the end, like, what makes you cry? I'm like, what makes this dude cry? I've cried like twice in my life, And they were like, what makes you feel this or that? And I'm like, I only know I'm hungry and I'm angry, And
then look at you now. People are watching this probably recognize you most from doing Orange is the New Black. What a show. Everybody really loved that Netflix show.
I felt like I was really selling it.
What was your experience like?
I was in season 4 and 5, and when season 4 came out, I was there shooting season 5 and literally could not walk down the street 10 yards without someone stopping you. It was such a change in my world because I've always been able to, I feel like, just kind of blend in.
Something wrong? You seem down.
Really, I felt like that was one of the first times in my life where I had a great role with great writing, with great actors, and was able to kind of show what I could really do. The job we're talking about today, The Stand, Stephen King's book.
He's the heart of the show. He is simple, but he is also
I feel like, again, this was one of those roles with great writing, great cast, and able to shine.
And you mentioned The Stand. The timing for this is pretty interesting. This is a classic Stephen King tale about post-pandemic and the survivors of a dystopian world where a pandemic ravaged, 98% of the population.
But the interesting thing is I was almost done with the show, so I went back to LA, but I had to fly back on March 12th to do this one scene. And when I got there to go through customs, there was nobody there. And I was just like, oh, shoot, I hope I did this show justice. Do you know what I mean? Because now we're done shooting it, and it's really a pandemic, and I see what's really going on. I've always been a Stephen King fan, but I actually like stuff like Shawshank Redemption and stuff like, those type of shows, which I really think The Stand is kind of really good character development like that, but then also, Stephen King stuff going on as well. So I was a big fan.
Brad, appreciate you, man. Thanks so much. Congratulations. And make sure to keep tabs on actor Brad William Henke. His social handle details are on your screen. You catch him on the new series, The Stand, which is now streaming.
Oh, yeah. It's time for trending hot takes. Quick reactions to what's happening in the news today. Yeah. All right, guys. The Simpsons, they did it again. A 1996 episode predicted that the Capitol would be overrun by people upset with liberals. They predicted President Trump's presidency too, obviously. Felicia, your hot take.
Okay, not surprised because The Simpsons also often uses truth and they use humor to kind of swallow down some of the harder topics here that we have going on in our country. We need that.
Okay. Amy.
I think President Trump watches a lot of cartoons, and that's where he got the idea for all of this.
Amy with the hot take there. All right, number 2. Alex Trebek's last episode is tonight. That's airing. Of course, he died in November. Here's a detail about his job that a lot of people don't know. Turns out that when the contestants are finding the answer, he actually had the button that controlled when they were out of time. Amy, hot take.
That was his show.
Yeah.
Okay.
No hot take here. It was just thank you for being such a wonderful man.
Oh, that's sweet. See, that's good. Everybody wins hot takes. Everybody wins. We'll be back after this. Hello, everybody. Oh, is that me? I was reading Twitter. Oh, my God. Sorry.
Hey, you
Now
got
that you're out of Twitter jail.
It is Friday. That is trouble. Yes, this is the Jam. John Hanson, Amy Rutledge, Felicia Lawrence here.
Yeah, so let's get into some of the discussion from the Capitol. While Congress decides how to move forward, whether via the 25th Amendment or impeachment, calls from President Trump's removal from office continue to grow stronger. We spoke with Illinois Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky yesterday about the Capitol breach and about moving forward.
Congresswoman Schakowsky, thank you so much for joining us, representing the Illinois 9th. I want to hear all about the 24 hours, to be sure, the craziest day on the Capitol in a long, long time. But I got to ask a direct question first. Do you support efforts by your colleagues to impeach President Trump?
I would absolutely support a motion to impeach him again. I did the last time. But, you know, even with only 6 days left, he has proven himself to be a serious danger to the United States. And I absolutely believe that's one option. There are calls to the vice president to invoke the 25th Amendment, which says essentially that the president is unable to serve out his term, that he is a danger, that he cannot manage to be a leader. I have a letter, I signed a letter with others to do that. So, I mean, it was pointed out this morning that, despite the fact of all the things that he has done, and you could call it sedition, inciting riots against the government, that he has the nuclear codes in his pocket. He still does. He is the president of the United States. And so 6 days or 6 years, whatever, we have much to fear from this man who, thanked all the people who were wearing signs, not only MAGA hats, but Civil War.
Yes.
Civil War. He was supporting that. That was his agenda. But I also want to tell you that we were not protected properly in the Capitol of the United States or in the office buildings. Not at all.
Walk us through where you were in the moments this all started and kind of how your day progressed.
So I was in my office and I was watching C-SPAN so we could get the minute by minute. And then horrified to see that all of the security had been breached. Now, it's not that we didn't know this for weeks and weeks. The date was set. The president had put out the call. At one point, he even told them to bring their weapons. Imagine. So we knew. Security knew that. Internal security, the National Guard was called out at first. The president actually had the opportunity and took it to say the National Guard couldn't come. But Nancy Pelosi called it, the mayor of the District of Columbia called for them, and they came. But there were not the kind of barriers that should have been there. Breaching the Capitol of the United States. I saw a woman sitting in Nancy Pelosi's seat. Yeah. We saw unthinkable images of these people shooting into the House chambers, of holes in the walls of the Capitol, incited by the president. I mean, the outrage, I can't begin to tell you. And yes, fear, yes. We didn't know where they were. We didn't know that there was somebody blocking the hallways if they could or couldn't get in, which they could in many places. So it was a really frightening time in every way.
I think it was obviously frightening for you being there. I was literally shaking watching it. And I think a lot of Americans were just the general concern of an overthrow or some sort of plot to overtake the Capitol, which wasn't all out of the realm of the possibility. Obviously, our foreign adversaries see that too, and the weaknesses that the Capitol have. So I want to know, is there a bipartisan effort and a motivation for an investigation into what happened, arresting people that were in the Capitol, and moving forward to make sure this doesn't happen again?
Well, finally, at the end of the day, there were 40-some people that were arrested. But we were talking about a seditious crowd of thousands of people marauding our country and our capital and threatening our democracy. Yes, there is bipartisan support for a full investigation. And some of us think too how much happened when Black Lives Matter was near the Capitol. Mm-hmm. How the president was supported by tear gas to get through and walk in front of a church to hold up a Bible. People were arrested immediately, and we didn't see arrests. We didn't see that going on, that people were being rounded up and taken away. We should have had paddy wagons loading up people, at least getting them away from the Capitol grounds.
Let me get your opinion too on the rally prior to all of this. Rudy Giuliani, Eric Trump were inciting this violence. Do you feel like charges should be levied against them as well?
I certainly think that anyone involved in encouraging this, in speaking it, and speaking to the crowd must be held accountable. No, I mean, there are absolute limits to what members of Congress, supporters of Donald Trump can say and do. I mean, a woman did die. Yeah. A woman was shot. She was, I think, one of the ones by Nancy Pelosi's office. That shouldn't have had to happen. People shouldn't have gotten in. They should have been arrested when they threatened the Capitol. And so even that life, where she was on the side of breaking in, should not have been lost if the proper security had been in place.
Speaking about the rallies that led up to what happened on Tuesday, I believe, not only your colleague in the House, but part of the Illinois delegation, Illinois 15th Congresswoman Mary Miller, making comment, Hitler was right on one thing, ... and going on. Your reaction?
Yes, I have actually called for her being alleviated of her authority, that she should not be serving in the Congress. You can't say that to an angry crowd of people, that Hitler was right. Hitler was right, at least on one point, but the idea was that we needed to train our children so that they would know how to resist the kinds of activities that normal Americans are in favor of. No, that is totally unacceptable. I was shocked. I don't know. I haven't met Mary yet. I have called her a colleague, all from the state of Illinois. And then this horrible anti-Semitic, you can't tell me that she didn't know better. She knew what she was saying.
Let me ask you, what do you think that all of this, and even President Trump's 4 years in office, does to the political spectrum? He's been lying to people for so long that bought into it enough to go to the Capitol, to storm the Capitol. A woman is dead. How do you repair Americans' trust in politics?
You know what? I actually think any trust that he had was severely eroded as of yesterday. I think people saw that he is willing to go to such extremes because he is mad. The whole genesis of this is that he either believes or wanted to somehow make himself the winner of the election. And I think that what people saw yesterday really eroded any kind of credibility that this man had. They saw that he is willing to see Americans die, that he is willing to take down the seat of government with people who believe in crazy things. QAnon supporters, people believe that this was a false election altogether and that Donald Trump is right, when it's obvious, it is clear. Republicans and Democrats alike rejected the idea of declaring this election invalid.
Well, almost. I mean, look, I watched the coverage last night when everyone reconvened. It was great to see everyone get back into the Capitol and do their job. I think that was important for the American public to see. The Senate was very tepid. The 12 or 13 people suddenly became 6 or 7 on the objections of Arizona or Pennsylvania. You didn't see that in the House. We almost had a brawl at one point in the House. Yeah. What is going on in the House of Representatives on the other side of the aisle?
You know, I'm trying to figure that out myself. Do they really believe this? Or are they, for some reason, still afraid of Donald Trump or afraid of their own constituents who have supported Donald Trump? And that somehow, if they were not to go to the bitter end with him, that they would pay politically for that. Some of the people are too smart, I think, intellectually, and know that this is not real, and yet felt compelled. That's the kind of power he has had. But after this violence, I really think that more and more Americans have lost faith in this president as really being in favor of the United States of America.
Adam Kinzinger this morning from the GOP side said, you know, it could be political suicide for him, but he supports invoking the 25th Amendment. I would expect to see a lot more people from the GOP side having the same thoughts and putting them out there now.
Yes, you know, Adam Kinzinger has been very clear, and quite frankly, I think in the state of Illinois, I don't think that it's going to be a political hazard for him, but I do believe that he truly thinks that this president is sufficient danger to have the 25th Amendment used, and so I thank him for that, and I believe in his sincerity.
Yeah.
But the others, I do believe they made, by and large, a choice, a political decision. I'm sticking with them.
Yeah. I know you're running out of time. Just really quickly, can we dig out of this hole?
You know, the big news of yesterday, if you want to know the truth, the fact that Ossoff was declared the winner, and now the United States Senate will be controlled by the Democrats, the House, the Senate, and the White House, of course. And I think that is the big change that we're going to see. The cabinet appointments, all of the people that are really going to be in charge of this country. Joe Biden, who has served for years in the United States Senate himself. So I think that much brighter days are coming. And this denouement, this end of President Trump has made a lot of eyes open among Americans that he was and is and continues to be for another 6 days a danger to our country.
The challenge now is getting the Democrats, getting Republicans, either very far right Republicans or even those along the line, as working together to try and heal everything that he's done.
You know, and I think we actually will see more Republicans beginning to vote with us on things that make common sense. You know, there were those who called the president-elect Joe Biden all kinds of names and the socialism word somehow. But we've seen him now for decades. That's not going to happen. And I think we will get more and more Republicans to join us on things like healthcare, on crushing the coronavirus that is killing so many Americans. Things that just ordinary people at their kitchen tables are worrying about, losing their unemployment insurance. We were finally able to get that bill passed, not the $2,000 that the president purported to want and that the Democrats supported to give to lower income Americans. So I think we're going to see some real cooperation that we haven't been seeing for now 4 years.
$2,000, is that the first vote?
Oh boy, there's a lot of firsts. There's a lot of first votes.
There's a lot of firsts.
Maybe. But you know, thank goodness we were at least able to get the $600 to get the unemployment insurance, to get money to address the COVID pandemic. So, but I do think that the first bills are going to deal with saving Americans who are drowning right now, to make sure that those people have some form of relief from their government that they deserve.
For sure. We're glad you're okay. We're glad your colleagues are too, and performed the duties. And thanks for your time here today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Representative.
All right. You can follow Congresswoman Schakowsky and everything she does for the Illinois 9th. They're on her social media handles. And we'll be right back.
Coming up tonight on the Drew Barrymore Show, Karamo Brown joins to help a woman navigate co-parenting with her significant other and explains why forgiveness is key.
I got to tell you right now, if you could take a moment with me, and I need you to say to yourself, I forgive myself, because I'm hearing a lot of what I've done wrong and how I've caused confusion. But you have to understand, you're just doing the best you can. I've been a single parent. I know how hard it is when you're dealing with your own emotions, the emotion of your child. You're trying to maintain a household. You got to release that right now. You did nothing wrong. And I need you to say right now to yourself, I forgive myself for the things that I think that I did wrong, because I actually was doing what I thought was best.
Oh, catch the Drew Barrymore Show weeknights at 9 p.m. on CW26. Stick around. The Jam will be back in 90 seconds. The big wildcard game is this Sunday, and Nickelodeon has teamed up with the NFL to bring families together. Style expert Nelissa Heath joins us with a few ways to sport this fun occasion. Hey, Nelissa, you are living fashionably as always. How's it going?
Great. How are you, Felicia? Happy New Year to you.
Same to you. So tell me about this partnership.
Oh my God, I'm so excited and so thankful for Nickelodeon, because as you said, they've teamed up with CBS Sports for the first time in history to bring a special presentation geared for kids of the wild card game. I'm so excited for this. Entire family is excited for this, Felicia. In true Nickelodeon fashion, viewers can expect lots of fun elements like tons of slime, of course, guest reporters, special graphics, and much more. I'm super excited. And of course, exciting halftime show.
Yes. Okay. So let's get to some of this fashion, because you got to look good while you're having fun. So I see all of the gear right there in front of you. And you also have some special models that you want to share with us this evening. Yeah. Tell us about baby girls here.
That's right. So we've got to do it in style if we're going to do it. We'll be at home, but we'll be comfortable doing it. So I'm so excited to share that the girls are wearing the brand new NFL SpongeBob jumpsuit collection. This collection was inspired by SpongeBob and his special relationship with his best friend, Patrick Star. This collection was designed by King Saladin. He's a world-renowned artist. We love his designs. His designs can be seen all over the world, and they're rocking the new t-shirts exclusively for kids. As you can see, this design is so perfect. It is a perfect collaboration of pop culture, lots of colors. It boasts NFL slogans. SpongeBob himself is on that t-shirt. It's so cool. Great streetwear. I love, love, love the design.
Yes, so cute and so fun. And clearly you got the little bows. Look at them doing thumbs up.
If they didn't have their bow, and they're just rocking it with some classic cargo pants. So
yeah,
very relaxed, for around the house. But if they need to run to the store with dad, they're ready to go too. So we love, love, love this new design.
I love it. And how old are they? These are your twin baby girls. What are their ages again?
Yes, the Heath dolls are 3 years old, but they will be 4 in just 2 weeks, Felicia.
4 already, my goodness, how exciting. Okay, and then we of course have to take care of mom and dad. You have on a sweatshirt as well too. Tell us about that.
That's right. The collection is inclusive of kids as well as men and women. So my husband and I are both wearing the sweatshirt that's a part of the collection. The kids t-shirts start at just $29.99 and the sweatshirts are $79.99. Again, boast the colors, boast of comfort. We love these sweatshirts. It's just a cool design.
And we also have your husband who is rocking the wear too. Show us, look at this.
That's right. Daddy Brian is looking extra good in his sweatshirt. Again, the collection is inclusive of men and women. So you definitely want to check it out.
That's perfect. And they look so comfortable. And then tell us about this giveaway with your Instagram.
Yes, if you love the collection as much as we do, you're in luck because we're giving one lucky viewer a chance to win a piece of this collection. All you have to do is head to our Instagram page, which is Fancy Like Mommy, and all of the deets will be there. So head there right now.
Okay, Nelissa, you and this fashionable group you got over there, you're always working it, always looking good. You guys, for more information on how you can win some of this fun game merch, visit Nelissa's Instagram. As she said, it's Fancy Like Mommy. Her latest post is going to have all the details.
I'm a little bummed out because I had a segment where I was going to pretend to be Brandon Pope, but it was cut for time. So I had the cardigan ready to go. I got a obscure ramp. This is actually a Piggly Wiggly. This is a grocery store in Wisconsin.
Oh, sorry.
You know, out of town, a favor of something that's not even from Chicago. And then I've got my glasses here to be Brandon Pope. So how am I doing?
You're wanted to be Brandon.
Look, bro. Look, man. Look.
Talk about Ohio. Wait, talk about Ohio.
Yeah. I'm from Columbus, but I love I'm from Cincinnati, but I love Columbus teams. I like Cleveland teams. You know, when I live in Chicago, I like Chicago teams. Look, bruh.
Wait, where's your Black Panther suit? I want to see your Black Panther suit too.
Well, I put on real muscles, not fake ones that Brandon has to wear on a suit. So,
you can't even.
I shouldn't say that. He's not here to defend himself, and he could probably beat me up. I'm not gonna lie. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Oh my! Bye, everybody.
Love you, Brandon.
Sure, now you do.
Right.